Hey everyone, I'm the Rev, and after spending a little bit more time with Assetto Corsa Evo and listening to your feedback, I wanted to do a quick video of 5 things I dislike and 5 things I like about Assetto Corsa Evo. So without any messing about, let's get into it. So let's start with the dislikes. Number 1. The online components. Why can't we access all single player content offline? The fact that I can't access the academy without being online worries me. There's only one reason the publisher chooses to be always online, and that's because somewhere down the line, they want to shaft me. They want to be able to control how much money I can earn in the game, which will hopefully force me towards microtransactions. We saw Gran Turismo 7 try this kind of thing, and it didn't go down well with me at all. That farce was one of the reasons that I ended up selling my PlayStation 5 and going completely PC only. So I dislike the online only aspects. Being online only doesn't benefit me, the player. It benefits the publisher and it benefits their income. That's all. It doesn't benefit me in any way. So if, and it's a big if because we don't know the answer yet, much of the game is locked behind being online, that won't sit well with me. So that's number 1. Number 2. The VR users have been let down. Now I'm not a VR user myself. I do everything, all my sim racing, all my gaming, in Pancake Vision. I did try VR, but I wasn't a big massive fan. It made me feel ill. But for those of you that bought the early access to try the VR, the vast majority feel let down. The performance isn't up to par, the image quality isn't there, and it's very buggy. I personally think that it might have been better that Kunos left out the VR until it was a little bit more baked and ready to show the world. The roadmap shows that the second part of the early access is going to have what they call Step 2 for VR. Maybe that's when they should have revealed the VR, as it seems to have left a sour taste in the VR user's mouth. So that's number 2. Number 3. The AI. Now the AI I initially described as erratic. After spending more time with the game, it's clear that the AI has not evolved much at all from the original Assetto Corsa. They still want to follow the one specific line, they make erratic maneuvers, they brake for no apparent reason, and they're more than happy to pit maneuver the player. They seem to take little and no notice of the player whatsoever. In terms of an offline experience, Automobilistas 2 AI, which is far from perfect, is miles ahead of this. Considering the exciting things that Polyphony Digital's doing in terms of AI with the likes of Gran Turismo Sophie, I would have thought that we would have got better after this long in development. Hopefully the AI can improve, because I am well aware that we're in early access. Number 4. The replay camera sounds. Now regular viewers of this channel will know that sound means a lot to the Rev. Now luckily the onboard sounds in Assetto Corsa Evo are really good, but I feel that the replay cameras lack a bit of punch. I do like to watch the replays of my races, I always have done. I'm part of the original Gran Turismo generation. I was blown away when I saw Gran Turismo on the PlayStation 1 and its fantastic replay system, and since then I've always watched my replays. So I'm hoping that over time we can add a little bit of punch to the audio in the replays. Kunos, if you're listening, it'd be one happy reverend if you give it a bit more punch. And that's number 4. And last but by no means least, number 5. Parts of the UI annoy me. When I'm racing, I don't need the time that's left in the race or the laps slap bang in the middle of the screen. It just seems like an odd place to put it. Not to mention that I find the start lights odd. They seem to be just smashed right in the middle. I find that they get in the way and there's no kind of audible cue either. So I find that a bit annoying. So I find little bits of the UI a little bit counterintuitive, shall we say. But as stated, it's early access, there's room for polish, and I'm sure these things will change. But that's number 5. But on to the 5 things I like. Number 1, and we'll start with the price. Now £26.39 is cheaper than I ever thought it was going to be, but the game can be had from as little as $19.99 from the likes of CD Keys, if you're happy to buy from them. I personally think this is a fantastic price. You could pay $19.99 now and get all the content up to version 1. If you don't want to buy from CD Keys, you can buy direct from Steam and have the security that if you play for less than 2 hours, you'll be able to refund should it run poorly on your machine. So the first thing I love is the price. Number 2, the graphics. Now for me, the graphics are absolutely fantastic. However, on my review video, I got a good few comments who stated, and I quote, "The graphics are absolute shit." Well, I'm afraid
You cannot be serious!
the graphics look magnificent. The night racing is absolutely gorgeous. The lighting, the rain effect, the atmosphere, it's all absolutely stunning. The car models are beautiful, the textures are great, the lighting's fantastic, and the reaction of the light to the specific materials, thanks to the DXGI, looks fantastic. Personally, I think the graphics are stunning. Now, jumping into the rig for a second, I had a comment on my review video that stated that this looked a little bit better than Race Room. This game looked a little bit better than Race Room, and I needed to go and get my eyes tested. A little bit better? A little bit better. Really? Really? Now, I absolutely love Race Room. Absolutely love it. Regular viewers of this channel will know that is 100% the truth. I love it. So it's not a slight or a knock on Race Room in any way. I love the sim. But to say that this looks a little bit better than Race Room, a little bit better than Race Room, if that's the case, I don't know what you want anymore. A little bit better than Race Room? Even if the game looked like this, captured here at 720p, lowest settings, I'd still play it because of how good it feels. Which brings me on to number 3, the physics and force feedback. Okay, so the next thing that I like about AC Evo is the force feedback and the feel. Now, I know this is going to be quite contentious because some of you out there are saying that you can't feel what I can feel, and to you it feels dead. Well, I can only describe to you the feeling that I get through the steering wheel. I may not be gifted when it comes to being quite as descriptive as some maybe, but hopefully as my YouTube adventure goes on, I'll get better. But for the next 3/4 of a lap or so, I'll try and describe to you as best as I possibly can what I can feel coming through the steering wheel, and hopefully that'll give you some idea as to why I like it so much. As we head into the braking zone there, I can feel the front squat and the front go heavy. The front went heavier, could feel the weight transfer as we dove onto the brakes and the tyres dug into the ground. Coming over the crest now, going right, feel the weight transfer slightly to the left. Not the finest apex there you're ever going to see all there, but the rear's gone light. Hence why I was able to catch it. I felt the rears lose contact with the road. I could feel that through the steering wheel. If I couldn't feel it, I wouldn't have been able to catch it. I think if I was just doing it visually, it would have already gone before I caught it. So there's not any kind of excess movements in the steering wheel as we're going down a straight road. Feel the front squat. Feel the compression on the left front as we go over the curb. Same again. Feel the vibration of the sawtooth curb on the right hand side. Coming into the braking zone. Down into third. Rear scrambling again. Had to catch it because the rear went light. Rear scrambling for grip. Suspension compression on the front. Front's washing out ever so slightly. And off we go again up the hill again. No excess movements in the steering. No just like rumbling or vibrations for no reason. All the weight on the right front. Feel the crest. Little bit of a bump as you exit the crest. I've lost the rear. As the car went too light because I took too much speed in. So that's what I can feel. If that's not what you feel, I'm really sorry. But that's why I think it's fantastic. For me, it's got more detail and more feeling than any sim I've played before. You may agree with that, you may not. If you don't, then I'm really sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. I wish you could sit in this seat and have a go and feel what I feel. Number 4, the loading times. You click start session and within a few seconds, the race is on and ready to go. LMU takes forever by comparison. It literally is a few seconds, the Alpine's loaded and we're ready to race. Which handily brings me on to the last thing I like about Assetto Corsa Evo. Number 5, Bathurst. Now for some reason, having avoided this track for a long time, I'd convinced myself that I didn't like it, but as it was one of the limited tracks available on Assetto Corsa Evo, I was left with no choice but to start driving it. And now that I've got used to it, I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. I love it in the Porsche, I love it in the Golf, but most of all, I love it here in the Alpine. It's a fantastic track. It looks the part, feels the part, and I've really enjoyed driving it on Assetto Corsa Evo. So that's 5 things I dislike and 5 things I like about Assetto Corsa Evo. Please do hit that like and subscribe. I've been the Rev. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you for watching.